The rain across England will pep up, particularly over parts of central southern England, the Midlands, slowly working its way up to the northeast. We do have that yellow force.
Hello guys, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we've come out to some woodland photography, and yeah, I've come to a local woodland, well localish, about 45 minutes away from the house. And yeah, first time I've been here, but first impressions are absolutely fantastic. They really are. You know, we're surrounded by birch, which the leaves are just turning to that orange colour. And yeah, there's a lot of oak in here as well, some yews, some sycamore, lots of different trees, and it's absolutely stunning. It really is. Conditions are, you know, challenging but fantastic, I think, for woodland photography. It's quite heavy rain, no wind, so all of the leaves have got this lovely wetness to them, and they're shining and glistening, and it's saturating the colours, and yeah, really quite atmospheric. Not misty at all, but yeah, atmospheric. So hopefully we're going to get some good shots today. So you might remember maybe about a year ago I did a vlog, and I sort of set myself a little goal to get a really good sort of portfolio worth shot in the woodland that was local to me. So I kind of drew an hour circle around my house, and that was my goal, to find a woodland. And I've struggled to find somewhere, to be honest. Struggled to find a woodland that can offer me what I was looking for. But I think this actually could be it. And yeah, like I said, 45 minutes away. So yeah, it fits in with that. So it's just a case now of trying to find an image here in these, yeah, struggling conditions, I think, for us, you know, vloggers. You know, it's quite difficult vlogging in the rain, keeping all the gear dry and everything, but I think it's going to be a cracking day, I really do. So let's go see what we can find, guys. So I've been walking for a couple of hours, and I have to say this woodland is absolutely beautiful, offers so much, it really does. It's taken me a couple of hours to find quite an intriguing spot here, actually. I really like the look of it, actually, and I think what's attracted me to this actual location is all of these reeds we've got down here in the foreground, and it kind of surrounds this oak tree. And to the right hand side of the oak tree we've got a couple of silver birch. Well, actually it's surrounded by silver birch, but there's two that are very prominent in the scene just to the right hand side, and it kind of frames the right hand side of the image. So I've got the oak tree in the left hand third, if you like, and then I've got the sort of selection of birch trees to the right hand side, and they're all surrounded by this lovely dark green reeds. Obviously the forecast is heavy rain today, and there's not a drop in sight, which I think would really add to this shot, actually, because would add a little bit of separation maybe between the trees in the background and these trees in the foreground. But that being said, the trees have got, you know, quite wet foliage anyway from the rain this morning, and the conditions are very still, which is obviously great for woodland photography. So yeah, I'm going to capture this image now. Basically what I've got is on the camera here, I'm at about 50mm, so I'm compressing the scene slightly, I think, and obviously shooting an aperture of f5 at 50mm. I'm letting the background just fall out of focus, so that's going to really help kind of give us a little bit of separation, which I think is vital in woodland photography. I think you really need to kind of make your subject just stand out from everything that's around it, and hopefully that's going to do that. And with f5, hopefully it's just going to allow us to keep everything that we want in focus. That's the plan, and it's looking really nice. I'm really pleased to be able to capture this shot, actually. And yeah, such a stunning location. It's the first time I've been here, like I said earlier, and it really is gorgeous. But as you probably know, with any woodland photography, it does take time to, you know, sort out a composition, and this has not been any different, to be honest. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyable walk for a couple of hours to find this one location. Anyway, I'm going to grab this shot now, stop waffling on, and then I'm going to see what else we can find. Hopefully it's going to throw it down with rain, and we're going to be able to get some really nice atmospheric conditions as well a bit later on. So, but yeah, what a great start, actually. Yeah, it's been difficult today actually, this conditions. Even though, you know, it's perfect for woodland photography, it's not easy to create a vlog when it's pinning it down with rain. But that being said, I'm having a, yeah, absolutely great day. I'm loving it. And I found a shot here actually, which overlooks like a reed bed. The reeds have died off a little bit, and they're all kind of angled towards this little outcrop of silver birch trees. And the birch trees, the leaves obviously a nice golden colour, but the background's quite dark actually, and with the rain that we've got right now as well, they really stand out actually. It looks beautiful, it really does. So what I've decided to do is get fairly close and try to do a panoramic shot here, and I'm focused in on each of the trees that are kind of prominent within the scene as I move across the scene, and I think that kind of helps get everything sharp. At least it's looking like it does. And yeah, hopefully it's going to work out all right. I think the thing is with this shot, what I've done is I've zoomed out a little bit further than I need to, because I'm not sure how the pano is going to stitch together. I would have preferred to do it vertically, but I just think taking that amount of shots through here is going to be quite challenging. The other thing I'm having a little bit of difficulty with is the tripod is on this reed bed as well, and it's very, very spongy. So every time I move through the pano, take the next shot, the tripod's probably moving a little bit as well, so possibly that could present a few problems when we get back to post-production stitching it together. But I thought, to be honest, it's better to take the shot than not take it, and I think the rain, you know, was quite heavy and it really adds to the shot as well. It's quite moody, and as well, like the reeds are kind of all pointing towards these birch trees as well, so it really kind of accentuates the foreground and makes it quite unique as well, and uncluttered, and I think quite simplistic. So hopefully it's going to be a decent shot if we can get it stitched together, and yeah, if we do, I'll pop it on the screen now for you guys. Well guys, they say be careful what you wish for, don't they? And I certainly have had that heavy rain that I was hoping for, and yeah, it's been quite difficult actually. So much so it's been difficult to film anything really. Just been torrential, but been great to get out, and thank God I brought the brolly with me. It's a bit of a lifesaver. But yeah, I found a composition actually looking through two silver birches that are in the foreground, but I'm not going to be including them. What I'm going to be focusing on is this silver birch that's in the background, and it's got a very strange bend to its trunk. It comes up about 1 metre or 2 and then literally bends to the right, bends right round and comes back straight again. So it's very unique, and it's very different to the rest of the trees that are in this area. I'm not really going to include any foreground apart from some of the dying ferns. There's a mixture of like green, brown and yellow ferns that are kind of dotted around in the foreground, and I'm not too worried about getting them super sharp. I'm really focusing on this silver birch tree. It's difficult to see how this is going to come out. I think it might be one of those shots that actually looks better in a photograph than it does in real life, which is not usually the case, is it? It certainly looks good on the back of the camera, but the light's fading so quickly right now. It's getting really challenging actually. But let me quickly talk you through what I've got set up on the camera. You can hear the rain right now. I've got the 50-140 lens on actually, and I'm zoomed right in actually. We're at 140mm, so that's 200mm if you're on the full frame. So yeah, right tight in and focusing on the tree, and I'm at 20th of a second f8, and that's just giving me enough depth of field to be able to get some of the branches that are just kind of creeping into the frame in the foreground in as well, because I think they might look a bit weird if they're blurred. So I just want to capture those that are kind of coming into the frame as well. Obviously that single birch tree, which is going to be my kind of focal point, and I'm going to put that right in the middle of this shot, and it's going to be a vertical shot hopefully. And yeah, the only distractions I've got are in the background there. There's some silver birches with very, very bright trunks, and what I might need to do is just bring the brightness of those down a little bit in post-production. But overall I think it looks really nice. It's very interesting anyway, and it's certainly certainly something to photograph anyway. Wow, these conditions is getting heavy again. But yeah, it's been a super day. What I think I'm going to do is take this shot now, head back to the studio and get dry, and then I'll catch up with you at the studio, guys. all dry, all sorted, got the tea. So, oh well, what a successful little mission that was, you know. Just half a day there in that beautiful, beautiful woodland. And I've got a massive smile on my face, I have to say. It was such a, well, lots of things, lots of emotions really. It was a relief actually to find a woodland that, you know, can actually offer me what I've been looking for so long. And yeah, it's been a search that's been well over a year now. And, you know, I've visited so many different woodlands in the local vicinity and tried to find something that's going to offer me, you know, good photographic opportunities. And I've just not been able to find anything until today. You know, it's been incredible. It really has. So yeah, quite a journey actually to get to this shot here that I'm going to talk about. But briefly, I'm just going to quickly talk about the first two shots that I took. Both are okay. I quite like them. But the third shot really is the one that I'm really, really chuffed about. The first shot that I took was of the oak tree with the silver birches. It looks quite nice. I'm quite pleased with it overall. I think it's slightly unbalanced. I think if the oak tree kind of arched over to the right hand side a bit more and come down to sort of frame the shot, it would have been a lot better. As it is, the leaves from the oak tree kind of come down the middle of the frame, and although they're framing kind of oak tree and the view through, it sort of unbalances the shot really. I think I'm probably going to revisit this and see if I can recompose the shot so that foliage that comes down in the middle is to the right hand side, not include those birch trees to the right hand side, and see if I can find a composition better suits the framing of the tree. So I think I'm going to revisit that one for sure. Quickly on to the panoramic shot, and I like this, I do like it. I think it's cool how I've got this kind of straight bed of reeds at the bottom and the birch trees coming up, looking like they're just coming straight out of the reed bed, which is really cool. I was really hoping to be able to capture some of the rain in this shot because it was absolutely throwing it down with rain. I was really hoping that I'd be able to capture some of that motion. I wasn't really able to capture any of the detail in the rain, so that was the look I was going for, and I wasn't able to really capture that, so I was quite disappointed about that. And I think because of the amount of rain as well, it looks just a little bit washed out and a little bit bland. Doesn't have a huge amount of punch to it. And I tried increasing the saturation and contrast in post-production, but it just made the shot look garish, to be honest. So although I quite like it, I think, you know, it's an okay shot, you know, it's nothing special at all. That kind of leads me on to the third shot, and I knew it was a good shot actually when I took it, but like I said, when I was on the field, I think it was one of those shots that actually looks better on the back of the camera than it did in person. So I was looking at the shot and I was, you know, the tree initially just caught my eye because it got such an amazing shape to it, completely different to everything else. You know, any of the surrounding trees, nothing had this kind of curved trunk to it. You know, it's quite unique in itself, really. That really stood out, to me. But I was looking at the shot actually, and I was thinking, you know, I don't think I can capture a shot here. It just looked, the amount of rain that was coming down, it just, you know, it didn't look anything. So anyway, I quickly grabbed the camera out, had a quick look at it through the camera, and thought, wow, this looks amazing with the telephoto lens on. So yeah, like I said before, I was zoomed in at 140mm, so I was really quite close in on the, you know, on the tree, the framing of this shot, and I was about 100 yards away. So it created a very, very atmospheric shot, and yeah, you can really see all of the water droplets around the branches, and the leaves look heavy and they're glistening, and it's created this beautiful kind of separation between the tree and the background there, and it's just that sort of mistiness in the background. There's just the volume of rain really that's created that. You can just see at the top here there's a bit of a gap in the canopy, and it was letting this light just come down behind the tree, and it was backlighting it a little bit but creating this kind of haziness. So it was just like a pocket of haziness that was just created in this sort of gap in the forest here. So yeah, I absolutely love this image, I really do. It's probably one of my favourite woodland shots I've ever taken. It's just got a complete uniqueness to it. You know, obviously the conditions were terrible, if you like, but great for woodland photography. And yeah, to find something so unique in a woodland is quite rare, I think. And I'm really, really excited actually, just for a few reasons. One is because I've actually found somewhere that offers so much, and I can, you know, I know that in the future I can go back and create a lot more images there. I've only just scratched the surface. It's so diverse and it offers so much, it really does. And also I actually think that I achieved the goal that I set out earlier in the year during the winter time, when I said I wanted to get a portfolio worthwhile shot, and I really do think I've got that in this image. I think it offers so much. So I just want to quickly touch on, I've obviously printed this image out. I've recently purchased a printer, and not an investment. I was just becoming, very frustrated with my workflow, because I've always outsourced my printing, and it's great. I have no problem with the quality of the prints that I've been getting, but the workflow and just taking that extra little bit of control over, being able to produce the prints myself is really good. So I'm going to talk a bit more about printing in future episodes, but yeah, I just want to quickly say that I've printed this on a platinum etching paper, which is a fine art paper, and I think it absolutely adds to this image. It really does. It creates a painterly effect to the image. I think it adds so much to it, and it really does make it look like a piece of art. So I'm really proud of this shot, and it's great to get it printed. This shot will be going on my website, which I'm so pleased about. I really am. It's something that's been a long time coming, and yeah, I can't wait to get it on there, and it will be available to purchase if you want to take a look at that. I'll leave a link in the description. But pretty much all of my vlogs that I do on this channel involve a lot of traveling. So generally speaking, the nearest place that I go to for my vlogs is the Peak District, and that's a 2.5 hour drive. So for every vlog I do, pretty much is a 5 hour traveling involved. Now, not only obviously is that a big chunk out of my day, costs a lot in fuel, but it's also not particularly environmentally friendly either. So to find somewhere local to me is it's been an ongoing search for so long, and I'll keep going on about it, but it really, it really does mean the world to actually be able to find somewhere that I can go back to and revisit time and time again. Going to the Peak District or going to Snowdonia is something that I have to plan, I have to set the time aside to, whereas something that's 45 minutes away, if I get a spare afternoon, I can just nip there, which is going to be absolutely brilliant going forward. So I'm hoping to be able to create a lot more content from this area in the near future. So that all being said, guys, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, because it's just been an incredible day, absolutely soaked through to the skin. But it's in these awful conditions that we can often find the best photographs. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you next week.